Let's start to work on the open tone. Your hand must be straight, in line with your forearm, and your fingers should touch each other. Now the little finger is not very important for the open tone, so you don't have to force it to join the other fingers if it creates too much tension. But depending on your morphology, it may or may not be a problem. The striking area extends to the second phalanx included. If you hit the drum too much outside, your sound will be too high, and too much inside, it will be too muffled. Now both arm and wrist should be used to strike the drum. Now let's see the dynamics of the stroke. The hand is straight, and the zone under the second phalanx will hit the border of the drum. At this moment, thanks to the velocity of the movement, your fingers will briefly hit the skin before they immediately return to their initial position, hand straight. So the trick here is to find the proper intensity in the rigidity of your hand. If it's too rigid, your fingers won't hit the skin. If it's too loose, your finger will remain on the skin and muffle the sound. Now about the force you should put in the stroke. Note that it will be easier if you are not afraid to strike quite powerfully at the beginning. Striking the drum with less velocity requires more precision in the positioning and dynamic of the stroke, which will come only with the experience. Now let's start to work on the open tone. We're going to be quite slow since we really want to focus on the movement. My advice here is to let your hand in contact with the border of the drum after the strike, so you're sure that the end position is good. It's absolutely normal if your sound is not regular. The challenge here is not only to be able to get a good sound out of your instrument, but it's also to maintain your strokes at the same strength in order to avoid any difference in the volume. And it's not as easy as it looks, but if you work properly, it's only a matter of time before you get comfortable with your congas, with a clean and regular sound.